You hear a whisper in a room of crushing silence. The waiting room is offensively bright. White walls, white floors, and a sea of white lab coats. Dr. Eris, a woman with a smile just as sterile as the room, slides a clipboard across the polished table. "Just a few legal bits," she says, her voice a calm, flat line. It outlines the potential side effects of prolonged sensory deprivation. You know, anxiety, mild hallucinations. Kai, a man made of sharp angles and even sharper confidence, doesn't even glance at the words. He just scrawls his signature, the pen scratching like a scream in the otherwise silent room. He pushes the clipboard back with a grin that's much more of a challenge than a pleasantry. "Don't worry, doctor. I'm not here for a spiritual journey or to meet my inner child. I'm just here to prove that a rational mind can't be broken by a little quiet." Dr. Eris takes the clipboard back, her own smile not quite reaching her eyes. "Of course. The chamber is ready for you." The next thing Kai sees is a heavy, vault-like door. It's thick, padded, and looks impossibly dense. It swings shut with a deep, final thump, and just like that, the world is plunged into absolute black and absolute silence. At first, the silence feels like a luxury, like a velvet blanket. For Kai, it's proof he was right. "See?" he thinks, floating effortlessly in the skin temperature saline. It's just quiet. No boogeyman, no ghosts in the machine, just an absence of noise. He settles in, focusing on his own internal monologue, the smug narrator in the story of his own unflappable logic. He is in complete control. But here's the thing about the brain. It hates a vacuum. It's a prediction engine constantly trying to match what's coming in with what it expects to be coming in. So when there's no data, no light, no sound, it starts to panic. Deprived of its usual diet of stimuli, the brain begins to feed on itself. Cortical areas that are suddenly orphaned from their senses become hyper-excitable. They start firing off spontaneously, just trying to fill the void. It's a phenomenon we've seen in countless experiments, from the early, brutal studies of the 1950s to modern labs today. The brain, desperate for a signal, will simply invent one. Section 1. An hour passes, or is it a minute? Time has lost its edges in the black. Kai's smugness is starting to fray. The silence isn't peaceful anymore. It feels heavy. It's pressing in on him, a physical weight on his chest. In an anechoic chamber, the quietest place on earth, people report hearing their own heartbeat, the gurgle of their stomach, the whoosh of blood in their veins. You become the sound. Kai tries to focus on his breathing, but in the silence, it's monstrously loud, like a bellows in a tomb. He feels a flicker of anxiety, a little spark of something he doesn't like. He bats it away. This is the point, he tells himself. This is where the weak-minded invent their demons. He's better than that. He's a rational man. Then he hears it, a faint hiss. It's nothing. He knows it's nothing. It's just a spontaneous firing of the auditory nerve, the brain's internal static becoming audible in the profound quiet. He knows the science. He's read the papers. It's just neural noise. But then it happens again, and it's not a hiss this time. It's a soft, sibilant sound, like a breath right behind his ear. He shifts in the water, and the tiny movement feels like a seismic event. His heart rate picks up, and anxiety is a powerful amplifier. Studies have shown that fear doesn't necessarily create hallucinations, but it can make any sound you think you hear feel far more unpleasant, more threatening. The sound comes again, and this time, it has a shape. It's a whisper, and it says his name. Kai. His blood runs cold. It's impossible. He knows it's impossible. This is a textbook auditory hallucination brought on by sensory deprivation. His brain, starved for input, is creating a phantom sound. It's his own mind playing tricks on him. But knowing the science and actually experiencing it are two vastly different things. The whisper sounded so real, so close. He clenches his fists, his knuckles straining against nothing. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. He chants it in his head, a mantra against the encroaching madness. He is a rock, a fortress of logic. The silence returns, heavier than before, now pregnant with a terrible new possibility. Section 2. Another eternity crawls by. Kai is on a knife's edge. Every nerve fiber is screaming, just listening to the silence. He's not smug anymore. He's prey. The fun of the experiment is long gone, replaced by a raw, primal dread. He's starting to get why the early test subjects in Donald Hebb's 1950s experiments couldn't last more than a couple of days before quitting, distressed and terrified by vivid hallucinations. And then, the whisper returns. It's closer now, sharper. It isn't just a sound, it's a voice. A voice he almost recognizes. I know what you did, Kai. The words hit him like a punch. It's a woman's voice, cold and accusatory. He flails in the water, a strangled gasp escaping his lips. His rational mind is screaming at him. This is a symptom, a projection of your own guilt. The brain doesn't just create random noise. It pulls from your memories, your fears, from the darkest corners of your psyche. The hallucinations become complex, emotional, and deeply personal. Who's there? He shouts. But the sound is swallowed by the tank. The only one who can hear him is the voice inside his head. You left her, the voice whispers, insistent and cruel. You just walked away. A memory flashes, a rainy street, a tear-streaked face, a door closing for the last time. It's a part of his life he had neatly filed away, boxed up and labeled resolved. But the brain never really forgets. And in this silent black void, there's nowhere left to hide. No, he whimpered, his voice small and pathetic. No, that's not what happened. He starts pounding on the walls of the tank, his fists making dull thuds that are simply absorbed by the insulation. He's a prisoner in his own skull. The crushing silence he came to debunk has become his own personal torture chamber. And that's the true horror of sensory deprivation. It's not the absence of the world, but the overwhelming presence of yourself. He screams and screams, but there is no sound. There is only the whisper, which is now laughing. A cold, chilling sound that fills the void completely. His skepticism didn't protect him. It just made him arrogant. And his arrogance led him straight into a trap of his own making. The rational mind he was so proud of is now broken, turned against itself. He is no longer a skeptic. He is a believer, and he believes he is going insane. Conclusion. Suddenly, a grinding noise, a line of brilliant, painful light splits the darkness as the heavy door swings open. Kai squints, shielding his eyes. The world comes rushing back in a torrent of sensation. The bright, sterile light, the cool air on his wet skin, the scent of antiseptic. Standing in the doorway, silhouetted against the light, is Dr. Aris. She's holding her clipboard, her expression as calm and unreadable as ever. Kai scrambles out of the tank, shivering and gasping. He looks wild, his eyes wide with terror. The voice, he stammers, grabbing her arm. There was a voice, a woman. She knew things about me. Dr. Aris doesn't flinch. She just makes a small note on her clipboard with a delicate flick of her pen. She looks up at him, and for the first time, her thin smile seems to hold a flicker of genuine satisfaction. "Excellent," she says, her voice as crisp as a fresh sheet of paper. The cochlear implant is performing above all expectations. Kai just stares at her, his frantic mind grinding to a halt. "Implant? You've been a tremendous help, Kai," she continues, her tone completely conversational. The department was looking for a very specific subject: high intelligence, extreme skepticism, and a well-documented psychological history. Someone who would spend ages trying to rationalize what they were hearing before finally accepting it. You lasted longer than most. She taps the side of her own head, just behind her ear. It's a remarkable piece of tech. It bypasses the ear entirely, feeding targeted, personalized auditory signals directly to the brain. We can make you hear anything: a whisper, a memory, your deepest, darkest secret, spoken in the voice of someone you wronged a long time ago. The sterile white room seems to tilt around Kai. The experiment was never about sensory deprivation. He was the experiment. His pride, his skepticism, it wasn't his shield. It was the very reason he was chosen. He was the perfect lab rat. "So, it wasn't real?" he whispers, the sound desperate and hollow. Dr. Aris offers him that same chilling, empty smile. "Oh, it was real, Kai," she says, stepping aside as two silent figures in plain uniforms enter the room. "It just wasn't yours." The most terrifying prison isn't a silent, dark room. It's the one they can build inside your own mind. If this descent into psychological horror left you questioning the silence, subscribe for more explorations into the shadows of the mind, and let us know in the comments. If you were in that room, what's the one whisper you would be most terrified to hear?